2 of episode 2 of the Dean's Lair. I'm still got Jack Lawrence to my right, and now we're going to be talking a bit more IPW chat. This time, Extreme Measures coming up on the 3rd of June in Sittingbourne. For those who don't know much about how Extreme Measures works, I'll explain very quickly. There's basically 4 singles matches. The winner of each goes through to a 4-way eliminator, and then from that 4-way eliminator, the winner of that will fight for the title at the next show. Okay, so we've got 4 singles matches, which we'll quickly cover first, being as they're, you know, Big Van Walter from WXW in Germany against Dave Mastiff. Thoughts on this?
I'm looking forward to seeing Mastiff in the ring with someone who will stand toe to toe with him. I'm hoping to see him brought down a peg or two, to be honest.
Is the ring going to be able to take it?
Well, that's the worry. I hope it's the last match.
I'm thinking possibly not. I think because obviously you've got a 4-way eliminator, so it's not going to be the last match.
It's not going to be the last match, is it?
Nope. From what I can gather, I've only seen Big Van Walter once on DVD. I've not actually watched him live. You know, he's considered to be probably the best big man in Europe. So Dave might be, you know, obviously he's the sort of, you know, him and Shah being the 2 sort of champion big guys from IPW, might be up
He's
against
in
it
trouble.
Yeah, I'm thinking he might be.
Absolutely.
I'm obviously going to go with Dave. I mean, I'm a massive Dave fan, and you can make faces all you like at the camera, but at the end of the day, it's just a case of, you know, he's a fan favourite. My son loves him, and if my son loves him, I'm going to cheer him as well. So he's going to get my support on this one.
Falling in line behind all the other schlemiels.
Yeah, pretty much. Your favourite, or one of your favourites, Mark Haskins.
Yeah.
After his impressive show at the last one, Akira Tozawa.
That's and again, we're looking at the same kind of thing at the opposite end of the spectrum. Big Van versus Dave, a couple of big guys. Akira versus Haskins, 2 little guys going at each other quickly.
I'd hardly call Akira a little guy. I mean, he's a quick. I mean, it's still a lot of strength and power there.
But I wouldn't say Haskins is little. I mean, he's in stature, but he's muscular. And when I say little, I mean compared to Mastiff.
Yeah, okay.
And able to move quickly, able to get around the ring, and give each other a hard time. That's going to be an amazing match.
I mean, I mean, I'm not even going to make a prediction on this one.
No.
I mean, I want Haskins to lose,
To win.
but I have no idea which way to go. I mean, Tozawa is incredible. I mean, I've seen his Dragon Gate stuff. He's performed in a number of the American federations and ROH and a lot of the independents out in America, and really made a name for himself in the independent circuit for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Amazing. Never has a bad match.
No.
No. You know, Haskins. This is why I think maybe Tozawa has the edge, because Haskins occasionally there's a little bit of dip in form. You know, he's got that.
And I tell you why. It's because he started to be too concerned with what the fans were thinking.
Right.
And he's started to become more interested in being in the adulation, and I'm happy to see that he's gone back and he had that match with Redman, which they lost because of Redman. I'm glad to see Haskins saying, "Do you know what? No, I'm going to be the man that I am, true to myself,
Win at all costs.
Win at all costs." And that's what you need to do to be a wrestler. You've got to win at all costs.
Fair enough. So Haskins' view. So I wasn't sure, but I think I'm going to go with Tozawa. I think Akira Tozawa on that one for me. Dean Allmark Sticks. Now the other 2 have been very much paired up, weight for weight.
Yeah.
This one is a bit of a mismatch.
Yeah.
Dean, fairly new on the IPW roster, becoming a fan favourite. Good performances. I mean, his performance against Skrull and what have you was superb. Now, I haven't seen the match, but by all accounts, him and Sticks had an absolute humdinger, for want of a better word, at a Dragon Gate show last year, I believe. Yeah. And this is a rematch. Your predictions on this one?
I mean, as you say, Allmark he's a solid wrestler, and you know he's improving every time I see him. But Sticks, I think the size and the power is going to really be a key factor of that, and I want to see Sticks win anyway. And I think he will. I think he'll probably take him apart. To be honest, it may be embarrassing.
It would make for an interesting win if you get Sticks through to the 4-way, because obviously you'll have one big guy from the other match, and we don't know the 4th match. The 4th match as of yet hasn't been announced. Now, knowing IPW, it's still going to be equally as impressive as the rest of the card. It's very rare with their house shows, their smaller shows, that they don't have an impressive card from start to finish.
Always fantastic.
So Yeah, we're a little bit in the dark, but sticks for you. I'm kind of obviously wanting Dean to win, but I don't see that he's quite got enough to get past Sticks. I think he might struggle unless he can get on top early and use his speed and wear down the limbs and take away that the vertical base from Sticks. You know, but it's reliant on a good. I think he needs a quick start. I think so. So I want Dean to win, but he needs a quick start. Otherwise, I think just the power, like I said, will beat him down on that one. Right, tag match. Your favourites. Project Ego against the Hooligans. We have them. The Hooligans, there are a couple of guys that are wrestling with Lucia Britannia at the moment, formerly known as Zebra Kid and Sam Slam. So they have a history, Project Ego, in them. I think, I'm not sure if it's one of the Northern Federations, maybe Preston Wrestling, something like that, the two teams have paired off once before. At the time, Martin Kirby, obviously in fear of the reputation, of the hard-hitting reputation of Zebra Kid and Sam Slam, came to the ring wrapped in bubble wrap. This is someone you can follow, someone that comes to the ring wrapped in bubble wrap.
It's showmanship. I mean, it's not to be taken seriously. It's showmanship.
Okay, so you think that once again these two will have too much for the powerhouses?
Absolutely. I've yet to be unimpressed by them. They'll come in and they'll use their skill, their technical skills, their tactical skills, which are important to their matches, key factors,
and their cheating skills.
Tactical. That's what I just said.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Project Ego.
Okay.
Across the board, they'll take them apart.
I have a grudging respect for Project Ego. I always have to have a little chuckle at some of their antics. However, I can't condone their actions. So I'm going to go with Zebra Kid. Sorry, the Hooligans. Sorry, I've got to stop calling them that. They're wrestling under the Hooligans at the time. I've got to go with them. I think they'll be up against it again. So there's a couple of matches where the guys I'm cheering on are going to really, really struggle. However, the next one, my personal favourite on the IPW roster, Terry Frazier against Rene Dupree, La Resistance. Terry Frazier, obviously, on a bit of a roll. Swanley winning the Royal Rumble, getting a match very soon with Shah for the title. He's been bagging singles wins at some of the shows in Sittingbourne, being on the winning side, even though not necessarily contributing to the final result in the six-man tag against Rene Dupree, who I know absolutely nothing about.
I don't think I've ever seen Rene Dupree wrestle. It'll be interesting to see how he performs and the angle that he's coming at it.
Right. I mean, I'm taking the La Resistance are obviously a heel tag team. I'm guessing originally. So he's must be coming in with Frazier. I imagine he's coming in as the heel because fan favourite and what have you. Yeah. And obviously we'll touch base a little bit about Terry, because Terry's the star of a comic that we're currently producing here at the Grinning Demon as the Moose. But we'll discuss that later on in the show. So, not knowing anything about Dupree, I'm going to say that I'm bagging for Frazier, and
I'm just looking forward to the match.
Okay.
I'll call it as I see it.
Fair enough. And then there's probably going to be, I would guess, maybe one other match maybe fits into the card, or certainly some build-up to another match. There's been a lot of sniping between a couple of members of the IPW roster online recently.
There has.
All off the back of the lack of the belt round Marty Skrull's waist. Will we see a Rockstar Spud appearance?
I'd be very surprised if we don't. I'd be very surprised. He's got even more of a chip on his shoulder than normal.
So hopefully we'll see something from the two of them. But if not, obviously I'm sure there'll be a build up to something at a later event.
Yeah.
So overall, good card.
Yes, as always.
Yep.
IPW always thoroughly fantastic.
Thoroughly fantastic. You got lost for an adjective there.
I did. I think I acquitted myself fairly well.
Cool. Right. That's the end of part 2, and we'll come back shortly with discussions about the This Is Progress shows, the new federation based in London with a different style of wrestling. I wouldn't say non-family friendly, basically. If you certainly with the audience chants and so forth, it's 14 and upwards that are all allowed to their shows. But an amazing first event and an impressive card for their second event. So I'm sporting their T-shirt today. So we'll discuss that in part 3. Bye.